We're going to kick it off proper with a little bit of audio here. Here we go. All right, in 3, 2, 1.
I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can.
485 Hair Plaza, Hair City, Utah.
The morning stream. Still looking. There are a lot. Oh my gosh. I'm only halfway through. I'm not going all the way down. Yes, I am.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning stream. It is Monday, November 4th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hello. Welcome to a brand new week.
Yeah, man. Nothing going on this week. Real quiet.
Nope. Pretty mellow week. Nothing at all happening this week that will define the course of democracy forever.
No, none of that. It's all just normal, everyday bullshit here on the morning stream and nothing else going on in the world. A quiet early November. It's freezing here, Brian. I'm sick of all this cold already. I'm ready for spring.
Oh my God. It just got cold in the last 7 days, Scott.
I know. I hate it. It's so cold. I got up this morning. It was 28 degrees. I'm like, that is not. A week ago, it was 72 or something.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, man. No, we got, I'm looking at the outdoor cover cam and, little dusting of snow on part of the lawn. It's already melted and gone into the sod in the other part of the lawn. But we had I woke up to a nice little dusting of snow. But first snowfall here in Denver, in the Denver metro, as they call it.
Was it sleety, kind of wet snow? That's how ours is.
Very
so
wet
far.
snow.
Yeah. But our mountains are covered, dude. We got everything that was exposed a week ago was all green and a little orange and yellow, now just caked in snow in the entire valley. And that looks cool. It just doesn't feel good, you know?
You know what? I like it because I have moved on from, the Hawaiian shirt. Time is over. I wore my last one a couple days ago for Cinco de Mayo. Dia de los Muertos. I have the one with all the skeletons having a party.
Yeah.
The Mexican skeletons. It is the shirt I wear for those two occasions. Dia de los Muertos and Cinco de Mayo. And I wore it. And now I'm on to the Henleys with the T-shirt underneath.
Ooh.
I kind of like this weather this time of year for the sweaters and the comfy shirt.
It's all hoodies from here on out, even though that's kind of me all the time. But I also have you can't see it really; it's too black. But I have
you look like a floating head. You look like one of the Mummenshans. Ask your parents.
I do a little bit. I don't like it, but there's a little faded. You can barely see it. Oh, there you go. It's a Legend of Zelda emblem right there.
Oh, okay. Yep, I can kind of see it. Yep,
so,
the wingy thing.
Yep. So I'm going to hold up my sword and go, ah! As often as I can.
Perfect. I think we all should in solidarity.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So had a funny experience over the weekend. My niece, Josie, I love my niece. She's an amazing kid. Just happy to support her no matter what she does. And she happened to be in her school play, and this is the last year before she enters high school. So we wanted to see her in this play, and she had a relatively small part, but we didn't care. We're going to go, and we're going to support her and be in the stands and root like crazy whenever she shows up and all that. So we do that, and what a night this turned out to be. So, okay, normally you go to a school play and you expect it to be in an auditorium. They have an auditorium at this junior high, but the auditorium was closed for renovations. So they had to use the gym. So that meant bleachers. Everybody had to be on bleachers on one side, and then they had the whole thing kind of out in front of the bleachers. So one scene might be on the far left where you have a bunch of space by the basket over there, and then they would do stuff in the middle and a thing way over here.
Sure.
It worked fine. It was like a large stage. It was okay. But
all right. What was the play, by the way, just out of curiosity?
This is the worst part about it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Not the worst part. It's High School Musical, okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't know why you're doing that. Do something more traditional, but whatever. High School Musical is what they're doing. And this lady, before the thing starts, she gets up on the mic. She's the head of the department or whatever. And she says, now I want to be very clear. This is her voice. I want to be very clear about what I'm about to say. And then she would pause for effect. There will be zero filming of any kind in here today. And the reason for that is Disney does not like it when people do High School Musical. So we can't have...
Oh, really?
She's
They
like,
did not
we
get
can't have-
approval
Yeah.
from...
She's like, we can't have footage of this floating around the social medias, like this sort of thing.
Oh, my God.
And I'm
this
like-
is, but this is a middle school, right?
Yeah, it's like a junior high. Nobody gives a
Junior high.
shit.
So it's High School Musical, the Junior High School Musical.
Yeah. Yeah. And I promise you, nobody at Disney gives a shit that you did your little junior high play. No one, I promise you, nobody
They're
cares.
not going to care, yeah. Exactly.
So anyway, she's
Yeah.
making this huge deal out of it. It didn't stop like 4 ladies in front of me from filming anyway. So whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, oh, we're doing High School Musical, are we? All right. I don't even really know what the original. I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
I've seen bits of it. My brother Matt and his family are in it because they were extras. It was filmed here.
Oh,
So
really? Oh, cool.
if you
Wow.
ever
So
do-
even with that connection,
yeah, even
you
then
still
I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
No.
Yeah, it never struck Tina or I or me as something that we would enjoy, that we were the target audience.
Same.
It's kind of like Hocus Pocus, and how I watch them like this is horrendous. And I'm sure High School Musical is better. It's by every description it's really, really good, but I'm not the target audience.
Yeah, imagine if you're in because that would have been what, late 30s for us or something.
Yeah.
If you were a parent in the 80s, late 30s, and you were told that Footloose was for you, you would probably go, no, it's not. It's for that's what this is. It's a thing for a generation, and I get it and I respect it. It's fine, but I don't have any interest in it other than I want to support my niece. So she's just playing one of these students, and here's where things get even better. All right. The place is packed is the first thing I notice. I'm like, this is a flu COVID freaking super starter event. People are crammed into these things, packed, just breathing on each other, and people are coughing. And it's just like, man, this is the worst time for this sort of thing. Anyway, that was going on. I didn't think too much about it. But Kim brought a vase of flowers to give to Josie after the play, because that's what we do when we come to these. It's like a little... Last time it was a wreath or something. This time we brought her a vase of big, beautiful yellow flowers. So when she was done, we're going to run up to her and go, congratulations, here's your flowers. And sure enough, no one else brought flowers. So we were feeling pretty good about our choice. The problem is these flowers were taller than the vase they were in. And when I put it on the little bench in front of me, you know how bleachers work? Bench, like that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting my butt here. The very next one by my feet is where I put the vase to wait. It's top heavy because of the flowers. I didn't even touch the damn thing, and it tipped at one point and dumped the water content of the vase all over the next bench down, or at least the place where I would have my feet normally.
Where you put your feet, right, exactly. There's still a higher bench in front of that somebody be sitting on.
Oh, I take it back. It's their feet. So the higher bench they'd be sitting on, it's the one after that, because I had set it on the higher one.
Oh, you set it on the seat where no one was sitting.
Where nobody was there yet, right?
Gotcha.
Because we were early, because we're always early and I hate it. But anyway, we put it there. It dumps. It looks like pee, because the way that wood looks, it just looks like pee.
Okay.
So for the rest of the filing in, we had no way to clean it. I'm like, I'm not going to take my shirt off and soak this up or whatever. So we're just sort of left it.
You don't have a wad of paper towels handy. Yeah, sure.
No. So I just thought, well, what am I going to do here? So the idea was just to leave it, and nobody will sit here, and it's fine. And we'll have one seat where nobody sits. It's fine. Or they'll avoid it or whatever. And for the most part, when people are filing in, they are avoiding it. They're like, no, go a different way or whatever. And I'm just kind of going, oh my gosh, what have I done? And finally, some kid, he's probably high school age, there for a sibling or something, comes in. He's got his mullet as if they invented it, Just kind of swaggers in there and plops his butt down. And now he does the thing that you and I don't know if you did, but I did this in high school. If we were in the bleachers, I wouldn't just sit on a bleacher. I would sit in the footwell of the one behind me so I could munch in and kind of relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. You're kind of lounging back. Yeah, sure.
So I did. So this kid does this and plops his butt into the wet.
Right in the puddle.
Yeah.
Nice.
And at first, he doesn't even notice. Like it sort of goes for about 10 minutes.
Temperature. Sure.
Yeah, he's just not feeling it. But eventually, I see him kind of shifting. And he's like this. And he's going, oh. And he puts his hand down here and comes back. And it's all wet. He ended up having to sit there the whole time and just let that soak up. And by the time he got up, that bench was clean as a whistle. There's nothing there.
Dry.
All had gone to him.
He had bountied that business.
Yeah.
Basically, he was. Wow.
He bountied it. I love that. He was like a super-absorbent towel. This guy.
Wow. Why would you still continue to sit in it? How old is this kid?
Probably 16, 15.
Okay.
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Something close to that. And then, all right,
so don't know what it is. He doesn't know that it's water.
No, he doesn't know.
It could have been.
It could have been
urine.
It could have been the pee that it looked like. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, I probably should have put a little, I don't know, something there to guard people from it or something. But anyway, and it was so packed, and I could almost smell the moistness of it. That's gross, but it smelled mildewy there after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the wrong kind of coat got wet and the coats got wool or something, and it just kind of, anyway.
And teenage boys already stink.
Yeah, he already stinks. That kid had not showered.
You get him wet. It's like a golden retriever out in the rain.
Yeah, sitting in his golden puddle, it looked like. Anyway, so that's all going on, and that's in my mind a lot. But also out in front of us, we have one of the weirdest sound systems I've ever heard. It was really uneven. I mean, it's junior high, but it was so hard to hear some kids, and some kids were way too loud, and they had them packaging taped to their cheeks. So it wasn't like a good kind that sat in your ear and like wrapped around. They were like, you could see the shiny tape holding their cheeks.
Like a little bit of coat hanger wire, the lavalier glued onto the end and taped to their face.
Basically, yeah. You can totally picture it, right? Just like, and it would make, when they would sing, it would crinkle, and it was terrible. Anyway, also the singing's bad. I'll get to that in a minute. But there was they had a feedback problem with the board. And it was a nice board. I got up and looked, and they must have borrowed it or something. It was a huge, nice producer board full of a million sliders and all this stuff. And every once in a while, a girl would go, "Oh, I'm going to high school, something, something." And as she's talking, because her mic's getting the feedback, you'd hear, and the whole place is like feeling this up to your heart kind of sound. And it's not going, but like, just like low. And I turn to my nephew and I go, "They call that the brown note." And he goes like that and spits something out of him. And that spit, the little bit of his drink that came out, landed on the kid in front of us again.
the wet butt kid?
The butt soaker. And he didn't notice. It just went on his back and his hat, and he just kind of kept living. So anyway, that was funny. I couldn't believe that. And then the weirdest thing, there's a girl in the ensemble out there who maybe had hives or something weird going on. She kept lifting her shirt up and scratching her belly in front of everybody. And I said to my nephew, I go, "Do you know who that is?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't know why she's doing that." Because in my mind, I'm thinking maybe she's, maybe there's a special needs thing. She doesn't know. Yeah. She's just lifting that shirt off, half her bra's hanging out. She's doing this.
Oh, my gosh.
She's like rubbing her belly, and it's right in front of everybody. And I'm thinking, well, that ain't good. And then right around the time that happens, guy behind me starts cracking off about 10 farts in a row. And I don't mean like in succession, but he is just letting these out. And we're all like, "Where's the beef jerky? Someone's eating jerky." Silent
but deadly kind of thing. Like you knew it had to be the guy behind you, but you couldn't hear it. It was just like, "Oh, that's Rang."
Yeah, you'd see him he'd kind of shift, and then we'd catch wind of it, and then he'd shift, and we'd catch wind of it. It was bad. All right, big giant dude. Wow. And then,
so how was the play, Mr. Lincoln?
So the play was really bad in that none of these kids could really sing, and the sound was bad. So I'll just play a little of it. Here's just a taste. Right, the one girl who played the main girl, it's basically it's Romeo and Juliet set in a high school. It's kind of the idea. It's complicated, but this is kind of what it sounded like from my vantage point. And I recorded this on my watch, which I was told has excellent recording capability. And this is pretty good for replicating what I heard. This is what my ears would hear.
Oh, good.
And now looking in your eyes, I feel in my heart the start of something new.
Now, what you can't hear there is the kid, the guy, the boy, terrible singer, off key the whole night.
I was going to say, I hear her voice, but then I also hear not what I'd call harmony vocals, but a lower like...
Yeah, it's really off key, and it's fine. He seemed like a nice kid, whatever. It's just, it's a kid's play. But then there's this part of this play that since I've never seen this movie and I've never heard the music, I don't know what they're saying here. I need your help to help me decipher it, because what it sounds like to me is not, and my wife said is not what they were doing. So anyway, let me play it. Okay, here we go. It sounds like they're saying F, 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 F to the top.
I was hearing bop, 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 bop to the top.
All right.
Let's hear it again.
Okay, you're 100% right. But while I'm there, I hear that, and so here's where I add to the chaos of the night. Because I hear this F, 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 F to the top. In my head, I'm hearing that. And I go, oh, like that. And
like, you were so convinced
Yeah.
that it wasn't you mishearing it.
yeah. And everybody in there.
Is this the hardcore porn scene that I've heard so much about from High School Musical?
Yeah.
The reason Zac Efron.
I just was like taken aback by it. My wife's like hitting me in the leg, and my nephew is losing it, and he's got his girlfriend there, so she's like laughing, and it was just this stupid night. And then, but she did great. I'm really proud of her. You know, I don't really like plays unless they're like really big professional ones. School ones are always gross and just weird, and it made for good TMS talk. So I'm glad I went.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
It is what it is. Brian, also, we got a big birthday shout out to give today.
Yeah, one of our best buddies.
Yep, gets one of these if I can find it.
Happy birthday.
Randy Jordan, aka Randy Deluxe,
Yeah.
turns the big Hawaii 5-0 today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Randy.
Yep, we hope it's nothing but awesome. And
Did I ever tell you about the time that I had a 50th birthday?
I heard through the grapevine that he's taking today off. I hope that
Cool.
Sam
As
has
he
just like
should.
amazing experiences for him. That this will be a birthday to remember. And
Yeah.
we may not see him Wednesday because he's got a meeting or a doctor's appointment or something. So
Right. Doctor's appointment, I think. Yeah.
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 You have to wait till film
Good
sec.
for him, man. 50 is a fun one. It should be one that you, even if you hate birthdays and birthday parties, you got to make an exception for 50. So hopefully he did something fun this last weekend, or is going to do something fun this weekend coming up, or whatever. But yeah, happy birthday to one of the nicest and smartest movie guys we know.
That's right. Filmsack.com. This is just another excuse for us to promote FilmSack. That's the way we do it. here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
For real though, Randy, we hope you have a great one. And
Yeah.
happy 5-0.
Little toast. We'll both toast to Randy right here.
There you go. And I like the idea. I like the idea of Hawaii 5-0 because he loves Hawaii and would love to live there
He
again.
does. Yeah.
So that's perfect for him. There you go.
You'll
Brian.
have a great birthday as long as you follow my 3 simple rules.
Yeah, what are the 3 rules for having a good, safe 50th birthday, I wonder? Brian, you went and saw a movie. I cannot wait to hear about this shit.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I went and saw Conclave, the most intense thriller you'll ever see in your entire life that's about the Pope, the transition to a new Pope.
Damn.
I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, you know, you watch the trailer for this thing, and they do enough in the trailer to make it look like it's going to be this high intensity thriller, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what they've done is they've just edited like dream sequences or flashbacks or whatever. Like, oh no, all these things happen in this movie. There are no dream sequences. There are no like, oh, that was just just dozing off during this whole conclave thing.
Sure.
No, it's a fascinating process, like learning about how a new pope is selected. We kind of got a little bit of that when Benedict was selected and that sort of thing, but never knew the whole detail of like how all of the people that the Pope instilled as whatever level they needed to be cardinals or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all those people show up and are kind of sequestered in a room, and they're given sheets to vote on, and nobody goes up and says, well, if I'm elected Pope, I want, like, my platform is this and this and this. I mean, you kind of know, like, oh, that one's a more conservative dude, or here's a more liberal dude, or whoever. And these 108 people, these 108 Pope wannabes, candidates, all just vote for each other, and then they kind of see how the voting went, and then they adjust their votes the next time to kind of say, all right, well, if these are the 6 people who are getting the most votes, I like this guy most out of those 6. Because you'd think that first one would be 108 popes all voting for themselves, because why wouldn't they?
Well, that's my question. Are they allowed to do that? Can you vote for yourself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can totally vote
Oh.
for yourself.
Yeah.
But,
Why wouldn't they just do that? Unless it's like,
Yeah, because they just know it'll take forever if they do that. And
Yeah.
they want to get home,
Yeah.
back to their Pope lands. But Rafe Fiennes, oh my God, the cast in this thing: Rafe Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John freaking Lithgow is just brilliant in this.
I
Oh
didn't
my
know he
God,
was in it.
he's
That's
so
great.
good in this.
I thought he was.
And then,
I only thought it was Tucci and the other guy.
And Ray Fiennes.
Ray
yeah.
Fiennes, yeah.
And Isabella Rossellini.
Ooh.
I think the only Italian. Well, no, I guess Stanley Tucci's. I guess it must be Italian, but she is like, you don't ever want her to leave the screen because she is so smoldering and good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talia says that she was on her list. Yeah. Was it a laminated list though? And who did you take her off for?
All right.
We were on a break. But anyway, this is absolutely going to be in contention for Oscars come nomination time. It's definitely going to be one of the nominees. It's got everything, like the high intensity intrigue and somewhat grounded in history, and like this locks in. Like this is basically they've said, well, we don't know the other 9. This will definitely be one of them.
Oh wow.
But
yeah, it feels like it, right?
Really, really good. Yeah.
So did they explain the smoke thing and how that works? Because I've never really
did, and
understood it.
they even show. Obviously, it's it's a fictional storyline, but you see how all that stuff works and how the smoke, what causes the smoke and what they have, and these little canisters that they take over to this machine. They push a button and the lights go bloop 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 bloop.
Oh
and
wow!
then the smoke comes out.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's set as a modern one. Not this isn't
Yeah,
okay.
this
So it's not some time period thing.
No, the internet is in place for this this popitude.
This Poperection. Wait, that's not right. Poperection is what I meant to say.
I think now we have a show title. It's done. You guys can all quit submitting because we now have a show.
Do they
title.
get into that at all, like abuse allegations or any kind of like?
Yes.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it's
They-
not, but it's not based on an actual Pope turnover, or okay, just
No.
like what could happen. All right.
Right. Just what potentially could happen.
I like it.
Yeah.
You could write reviews
really,
for who is it?
HuffPost
Yeah.
or
Cinema Score or somebody who likes to constantly insert puns. I think that'd be great.
for sure.
That's great. I want to see it. Conclave. Check it out.
Conclave.
And that's what
Go-
that's
go
called,
see
right?
it.
When they all get separated, or that group is the conclave.
Sequestered into this is the conclave. This group and this process is the conclave, and Ray Fiennes is the manager of the conclave.
Conclave comptroller at this point. It's
Right,
fantastic.
right.
All right, then. Check it out. Sounds
Yeah.
like a thumbs up from Brian. Conclave available in
Absolute
theaters
thumbs up.
now. I think it's limited or everywhere. As far as you know.
Everywhere. Should
Okay.
be available everywhere, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I like everywhere.
And I'm currently 1,811th in line for a Casa Bonito reservation. So
Well, that's 3,000 people have gotten in. That's crazy.
exactly. Yeah, I've jumped
I'm
in the last
impressed.
38 minutes.
Super impressed. All right, we're going to bring Dunaway in. We're going to play a Monday tradition. That is to say, the morning half-asses. And as soon as he arrives, we'll kick that off with gusto. Oh, where's my thing? There we go. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, it's time for the morning half-asses. We have Brian Dunaway, who always joins us on a Monday and a Wednesday. He's here now. Hi, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Hold on a second while I turn off about 12 phones who are all ringing me. Let's see. Got an iPhone. I got an iPad going. I got an iPhone.
I can
Okay,
hear them all going
shut
back
up.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
No, they're calling.
Discord's not
Jesus.
very good at knowing that one of the things got picked up, and it
Right.
just keeps ringing through
Yeah.
your little Android tablet and your little iPad and your little whatever. All think it's still a fresh call.
Watch.
It's super annoying.
Got my watch going on. Got my. Anyway. Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi.
doing?
How you doing, man?
Oh,
aren't you
hello.
aren't you
Oh,
excited for
hello.
fellow film sacker Randy Jordan hitting the big 5-0? What do you think of that?
Dude, that is amazing. Welcome to the other side. Now you'll start getting the AARP magazines. You won't be getting offers. You'll get offers. You don't actually officially qualify till 55, I think. But
No,
welcome
you can
to.
get ARP. I think as
Oh, can
early
you?
as 45. Yeah, I think you can.
Well, that's some
You
bullshit.
can start getting it early and get that cool free trunk divider foldable trunk divider that I use all the time. It's
Yeah.
that was the
Right,
best
right,
reason
right.
for joining AARP is getting that thing.
They try to get you early with those, and then they
They
hook
really
you.
do.
Yeah. The idea is
Yeah,
that then you're going to want to get all your camping accessories through them or whatever you do.
I just am tired of them sending. I don't want the magazines or the newsprint. Like they have two different magazines they send. One of them is like your thin parade paper style, if you remember that from old newspapers and stuff, and the other one is like an actual magazine. Those
I
right
go-
into recycling.
Recycle, please, quickly. I go to
How to
the
spot suspicious teenagers, page 18.
There you go.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I go to the thrift store all the time. Surprise.
Yeah.
And people are constantly donating those. I'm like, no one wants these. Throw them away.
Yeah.
The
chuck 'em.
magazines? They're donating the magazines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you not even going through? You're not even sorting anything. You're just bringing boxes of trade. You throw them away.
Yeah. It's
You
a
don't
little
need
weird.
ARP magazines.
It's a little weird. I don't think who the hell wants those used? What are you doing? I'm not. You know what? Next time I go to a thrift store, I'm going to see what kind of magazines
what?
they got.
Oh yeah, they're great. I love getting the gaming magazines, but typically hard to come by.
Yeah.
But I am excited. We crossed over into November. I know this because last night we watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and
that's
let's
perfect,
kick off
yeah.
the festivities.
Jeez,
I love
you start early, man. That's a
Well,
early watch.
okay, so
There's
Halloween
only like
got
8 movies that you can watch for Thanksgiving, so you gotta
right. Halloween got
pace them
blowed
out.
up. Yeah, Halloween got blowed up. So we just watched it and said, meh, let's just move on to the next holiday. So we're all dressing up as turkeys this year. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Brian makes a.
They're gonna go around and collect thanks or treat, and they give you
No,
like a dollop
Thanks or
of
treat.
cranberry
I need
sauce in your bag or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, I need some giblets. I'm here looking for some.
Yeah.
I got a rock.
Yeah, the turkey neck or whatever those bits are. You just throw it in there.
Or
Nick.
just pouring gravy right into your bag.
I like
neck
this. I like this idea. We
The
should make
turkey
it.
neck is the best
Yeah.
because it's either more than one person wants it or nobody wants it. It's always.
Oh yeah,
fight
no,
or
you're
throw it
right.
trash
It's
away.
nobody wants it or everyone. You're exactly right about that. And for some reason, it's like every other at our Thanksgiving. Somebody always wants it.
Because it's a
Next
bunch
year
of
they don't.
spiky bones in there. Like it's not like a chicken leg. There's like 1,000 more bones in a turkey leg for some reason.
Do you
And-
know?
and-
But why would you? Do you have a theory as to why someone would want that neck then? Because I got people who want that.
oh, the
damn
neck.
thing.
I'm sorry, you were talking about the neck.
Yeah.
Nobody wants the
Yeah.
neck. Who wants the neck?
I know people who
I,
want
I've
it.
met
We
people.
fight over the leg. We don't fight over the neck.
I think you can actually I don't know this. Don't try this. We're doing a podcast here, not giving you cooking advice. I think people will fry those things and just eat them. I think the bones get so soft or something, or
Oh,
maybe it's
really?
just cartilage in
No.
there. I don't know.
Do you? Because when you do the neck, you basically have to just kind of you treat it like a crawfish, where you go and you kind of suck the meat. and
God,
the
it's like a
stuff out of it.
straw. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like the giblets. Give me the giblets. Let me pan fry those mothers up and
Turkey straw.
Nicely done. That's a perfect transition in this game, I think. Turkey straw. Brian, tell us
turkey
all about
straw.
today's turkey straw and what people might win.
Sure. Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and 3, like sucking on that turkey neck, are incorrect and wrong. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses. But if any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points. Did you write all that down? Because you're going to need it. The player with the most points after 3 rounds wins the prize for their contestant. And I've pulled some contestants from members of the Tadpool that aren't able to be here live. Scott, you're playing for Clark Earhart in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Oh, I like it.
He's an Okie from Muskogee.
Yeah, don't talk to those Texans. They don't like you for some reason. I don't know why.
That's right. And Brian, you're playing for Adam Ashlock in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Oh, Farmington.
Look at us in the center of that. You know, it's the heartland we're fighting
It is
for
the
Heartland.
today.
They're
Right
important
there.
this week. Let's
Yeah.
go, Heartland.
Let's do it.
Exactly. All right. Let's see who can pull forward. Let's go ahead and I'll tell you about the games you could win later. Let's get to question number 1. Gosh, don't know why I pulled this one. U.S. presidential pets. Which of these are actual U.S. presidential pets? Abraham Lincoln and his dog Fido, Warren G. Harding and Teapot, Herbert Hoover and King Tut, Lyndon B. Johnson and Ladybird, Calvin Coolidge and Major, and George Washington and Sweet Lips.
Sweet lips.
I don't know if it's right or not.
I love
But I
that
love
so
Sweet
much.
Lips.
Yeah. I think that's great. I'm probably not right, but I love it. All right, I'm picking 2 because I only know one for sure, and the rest of these, who the hell knows?
Okay.
I don't know. These all seem wrong.
I know.
All right, I'm.
Come here, sweet lips. Come here. Kiss
Sweet
me.
lips, come on,
Yeah,
sweet lips.
come kiss me on my wooden teeth.
Exactly.
Fake news.
All right. We're locked
Okay,
in.
you guys both locked in, and you both locked in on Lyndon B. Johnson's Lady Bird. Now, you guys know the difference between a
wife and a
pet and
dog.
a first lady, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of it's Hank Hill's dog.
I didn't even realize that I actually clicked on
Oh,
that.
is
I thought I clicked on the Calvin Coolidge, so I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. Lady Bird is right. Wouldn't have mattered.
Shit.
Yeah, the actual answers were, in fact, Sweet Lips. George Washington did have a dog or some pet named Sweet Lips. I don't know what the animal was. Herbert Hoover had King Tut, and Abraham Lincoln had just good old Fido.
Damn it. I thought Teapot sounded real. The other sounded all fake, and then the Ladybird thing is literally a King of the Hill thing, and I completely mixed
I
it
wonder
up.
why he named his dog King Tut. Was it because it was was it the hotness at that time?
Yeah.
Or
At the
was it-
time, yeah, because they were just unearthing the
They had
tomb.
a
probably
song
around
and
that
everything,
time,
right?
so-
Yeah. It's like everybody naming
King
their
from
kids
Babylonia,
Cersei
King
or whatever.
Tut.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was real dumb. The Ladybird one, very dumb.
It's all right. That's all right. Let's you can think of that one as kind of you're getting your bad answers out of the way now, and we're moving on to question number 2. Question number 2, iron ores. Which of these are iron ores? You've got hematite, limonite, anchorite, muscovite, bedlamite, and goethite.
They all
Which
sound like
3 of those
iron
are iron
or what?
ores?
iron ores, meaning non.
I see what you're doing.
Oh, I see what you did. Sure.
Iron or not is what it is.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is gonna be a complete guess. I'm doing 2 again because not feeling 3.
All right.
Looks like we're both locked in.
Oh, you guys are both locked in. All right, let's get to it here.
Jeez, wake
you
up.
both thanks. You both settled on Anchorite. You both chose Anchorite, and
Was it right?
and then one of you chose Goethite, and the other one chose Bedlamite. Nope, an Anchorite is a religious recluse.
Shit!
And a Bedlamite is a crazy person or an insane person, and a Muscovite is a resident of Moscow. Your actual answers were hematite, which I thought hematite was the gimme. Limonite and
oh, that's
goethite.
right.
So wait,
hematite.
what's
Oh.
hematite? Why would that be the gimme? What's that from? Should I know that?
Because I mean, it's when you think of, I think it's even in No Man's Sky as
Yeah,
the thing you
it
mine
is.
to get iron.
It is.
Oh shit! Well, they make up about a lot of ites in that game, but you're right. Hematite is absolutely in there. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Should have had that.
Yep. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Think of that one as you're like getting that one out of the way before the real answers come in the final question here.
Yeah.
Can I think of it as just me being wrong?
Could be.
Or do I have to
You,
keep it to a
you,
positive?
you could think of
You
that.
think
Yes,
of whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. You think of it.
Let's go to geography. I have faith in you guys. You got this one. Geography question. Places in the same time zone as Chicago. So Chicago is in a time zone. 3 of these things are in the same time zone. Some of Georgia, all of Iowa, some of Florida, all of South Dakota, all of Ontario, and all of Manitoba.
Oh
3
my
of those
gosh, dude.
are in the same time zone as Chicago.
Some of
I
Georgia.
don't think you cross. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I've crossed over Georgia so many times. I'm trying to think when the time zone took place.
Yeah, that one for some reason's ringing a dingy for me.
A dingy. A ringy dingy.
All right.
Swinging a dinghy.
I probably should still stick with 2 because.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, I think that one's directly. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'll give it away. I think that.
You think your
maybe-
guess is going to give it away?
I'm
Give it
gonna.
away now.
I don't know. I'm just picking 2. I don't know.
Okay. All right. You both locked in?
I don't like how you said, okay, those 2 going.
Okay.
All right.
That's because I was in the process of getting a tiebreaker. So you guys both settled on all of Ontario, and then Brian, you chose some of Georgia. Scott, you chose all of Iowa. All of Iowa is correct.
Oh, good job.
Total guess.
And that's the only one that you guys got between the two of you.
Damn it!
Well,
Not Ontario.
Some of Florida. Yeah, some of Florida is in the central time zone,
taint?
and all of Manitoba is in the same time zone as Chicago. But none of Georgia is in central.
Wow. I
Damn
guess that
it.
makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. There's a little tip down there at the very bottom.
Little
that-
tip, right? Exactly.
like right in
Kind of
your taint, yeah.
extends, yeah,
Right in the taint.
Yeah.
right in the taint.
The taint of Georgia. No offense, Georgia. You have a taint. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good question for you guys. All right, tiebreaker question.
Okay.
This is a fun one. At least I hope it is.
Breaking the tie of zeros. I love it. All right.
That's right, exactly. Who wants a point, basically, is what this is. All right, this is a wrestling question because you guys both watched wrestling as kids,
A little bit. Yeah.
and maybe you even saw this fight. In pounds, how much did Andre the Giant weigh when he fought Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 3?
Oh,
So
okay.
one of you is going to give me an answer. The other one is going to go higher or lower. Brian, you're going to give me the answer, and Scott is going to go higher or lower.
That works.
Okay. Andre the Giant was pushing 385.
Okay. 385 is incorrect. Scott, is the actual answer higher or lower than 385?
Pretty good number, Dunaway. Because that really does feel like it's medium or median somehow. I'm going to say higher. I don't know why. You hear these stories, you see him sitting there. It's just so big.
He's a giant.
I'm going to say higher.
He's like literally in his name.
Yeah.
He is a giant.
Yeah.
The actual answer is, 520 pounds.
Oh!
Wow.
Dude was huge. He was also a bit of a prankster. He would fart on his opponents and move his friends' cars at night.
Do you think Hulk Hogan put his foot behind him, like when they were doing the scales? He's all like laying on the weight scales there,
Might
maybe a
have.
little bit.
He's a bit of a cheating bastard. Maybe he would.
Yeah,
You know what else?
yeah.
I always heard the story that he would check people's oil, quote unquote, where he would stick
Oh
his
my God.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like during
Use
a
a
fight?
finger.
during a fight. If
Oh,
somebody he
jeez.
really didn't like, he'd stick his finger up their hooter and he would be like, "Yeah, ha, ha, ha.
Gosh.
I got you in bum." That's amazing how big that man is.
Glow.
Yeah, he was a big boy. Well, that means I win after an
Congratulations.
abysmal
Yeah,
performance overall. Holy shit, that was bad.
Yeah. That means you win, and that also means that Clark Earhart in Muskogee, Oklahoma, is going to get these prizes. You're going to get a copy of Jack Move and McPixel 3. These are ones that we couldn't give away last week, so congratulations going out to Clark for that one. But don't worry, Adam, in Farmington Hills. You're going to get a really cool investigation game where you navigate through scenes of 3 movies and try and figure out what happened to Marissa Marcel, the main actress of the movies. That game is called Immortality, and by all accounts, it's really, really cool. And big thanks to Yana
Winner.
for sending that one, and big thanks to
Is it Wesley?
Nighttime Visions
Nighttime
for sending
Visions.
the other one.
All good picks this week for games, so you all win, despite our terrible knowledge of any
I'm
of the
the
topics.
only loser.
Yeah, we're losers. You're a bit of a loser today, but don't worry. I'm sure you'll come back with a big win later. Dunaway, here's the good news. When are we doing Play Retro? I don't even know.
We're
This
doing
week.
it. We're back to normal.
Oh, back to
schedules,
normal this
right?
week.
So we're gonna
Okay.
do Friday.
Yay.
Yeah, but we can talk about it.
No. 1:30 is great because I couldn't remember if you had another thing this weekend or not. But
Nope. The marching band season is over, so Fridays have returned.
Nice.
At 3:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Scots Mountain-ish time, and we're doing the Golden Axe.
Yeah, Golden
Oh,
Axe, baby.
Cool.
Yeah, Brian, did you have a pick for who you would choose? You picked the lady, the little dwarf, the big muscle man when you
Are you asking me or
You.
the other Brian?
Sorry, the
yeah,
Ibbot.
I
What would
picked
you-
I was always barbarian or fighter
Axe.
or whatever.
yeah,
Axe guy.
that guy's great.
Axe guy.
He's the guy I like too. I don't like dwarves. Sorry, dwarf
I always
lovers.
played Axe
Not a fan.
guy, but yeah, I like Dwarf guy. He's the toughest.
Yeah, Graham Ellis in the chat says always pick the lady.
Oh
All right,
yeah, the
then.
lady's pretty badass.
She was
dude.
She was a magic user, right? She was the
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of OP if we're all honest about it. She was a little overpowered.
As long as you're punting the little what are the little things in there? They're not also
nipples, earlobes.
nipples. No, you got to kick the guy, so they drop the magic potion.
Oh.
The little guys running around.
Yeah, the little
dwarfs.
Yes, thank you. There you go. Have you been so the OG arcade one is my favorite of all these, but we'll talk about consoles and stuff too. And they got a new one coming, and we're really hopeful about it. So
they got a cartoon coming.
Yeah, and a cartoon. They got all kinds of shit coming. Freaking Sega's they're having a moment. I don't know what's going on over there. They have the highest rated Sonic game out right now that they've ever. Ooh. Nothing's ever had higher reviews, and it's that Sonic Shadow Generations thing that just landed, and it's killing it. Like overwhelmingly positive on Steam. All the other stores, huge reviews. I don't know what's going on, but I might have to get this new Sonic game. Anyway,
I'm on it.
Dunaway, I would like you to kiss our butts, and we'll see you later. Okay, he's gone, Brian.
Yep, he's gone.
Only temporarily. I mean, he'll be back Wednesday. So
yeah.
It'll all be fine. All right, you guys, we're going to do a quick bit of news, and here we go, right here. The news is brought to you by
Tadpooler Keith Conrad has a sci-fi short story podcast called Auditory Anthology, and it's worth your time. Get it at auditoryanthology.com.
That sounds great.
It does sound great. I like that. I like the sound of that. I like the cut of that jib.
Yeah, and if y'all are like, hey, how do you guys find these people to mention? Here's what you do. Go to our Discord. We have a whole thing that says promote yourself, and it lets you just say, hey, I'm streaming this, or I'm drawing this, or I did this for whoever, or whatever your thing is. I'm always scouring that, looking for some new faces, and I'd love to showcase it. So that's what we did here with Keith. So get in there.
Promote yourself, why don't you?
Yeah, get in there, man.
I'm also 158 from being able to make a Casa Bonita reservation. It's going to happen here in the next couple minutes.
Oh man, I can almost feel the sopapilla
going
through.
But I'll be able to talk about this cadaver business. I'm in. I'm still talking. I'm still talking about it.
Very exciting. Funeral home apologizes after body falls out of the hearse onto a busy road. You probably should apologize for that. Seems like a thing you...
That definitely warrants an apology.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Funeral home had to apologize after a corpse it was transporting fell out of the hearse and into traffic. The Hades funeral service... I'm sorry. Can we stop there for just a moment?
Hades?
You really have a funeral service called the Hades funeral service? Wow.
Sure.
They're in Poland. Maybe they...
Here's a guy. Death is practically his middle name.
I guess so. It's really weird. Anyway, in Poland, came under fire.
Would have been better.
Yeah, Styx would have been. That's even better. Came under fire when a driver was surprised by a white sheet fluttering onto his car window, only to push it away to see a body lying in the road. Oh my lord! The driver initially believed he hit somebody who was crumpled in the middle of the crosswalk. There's a photo that was circulating.
He just hit somebody who was already dead.
Yeah, a guy was already dead. Anyway, let's see. It is with deep regret, they say, that we inform you that as a result of an unexpected technical failure of an electric tailgate lock in the hearse during the transport of a body of the deceased, an unfortunate event occurred which does not reflect the high standards of our company. Our deep empathy towards the families and the deceased, and the respect we always show to our deceased, says Hades Funeral Service, as they wrote it in a statement on their website. No other information, including the identity of the decedent, has been released. Decedent. Dent. Here's another story, another thing on the ground. This is two stories about things on the ground. One's a body, and this one's a $20 bill. All right?
Oh. I ran over that with my car.
Yeah, it was my 20. A man who found $20 on the ground used it to buy $1 million lottery ticket. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, wow.
So whoever dropped that is a dummy. North Carolina resident hit the jackpot twice. First, when he found a $20 bill on the outside of the convenience store that he found it at, and a second time when he spent the money to buy a $25 winning scratch-off lottery ticket worth $1 million. He apparently applied his own $5 to the remaining amount that he needed. The man, Jerry Hicks of Banner Elk, North Carolina, told the state education lottery that he used the $20 he found to buy the thing. It's what they call the Extreme Cash Scratch-Off card. Extreme Cash.
Nice. That's how you know you're going to win. Some extreme. It's not just cash. It's cash that is like going to smell like Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah, dude. You know it is. Oh, I love it. And there's lots of more X's in there. Probably 2 more X's than usual. Love
They
it.
spell cash with 5 X's. Cash.
Yeah. Welcome to the 90s, baby. Hicks says he plans on using the wins to retire after working for 56 years as a carpenter, as well as go help his children. He also has more immediate plans, telling the lottery, quote, "We are going to head straight to Golden Corral and eat everything they got," unquote. I'm sure that'll go fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good, but
that money will come in handy for a triple bypass. So that's good. That's very good.
Yep. I haven't been to a Golden Corral in a while. I will admit I do occasionally, like let's call it every 5 years. I like a hometown buffet, but not very often. Like you can't do that all the time.
Forget
that.
For sure. And buffets are. I don't know. I've fallen out of favor with buffets.
Yeah.
I might still go to one in Vegas, like you say, Brian, you want to go to the Bacchanal buffet or the Wicked Spoon? I won't say no because
those are great. Yeah, those. Whoops, you cut out. Sorry, I was talking over you. I'll bet.
Oh, but even like Ruby Tuesdays, I don't even know if those are still around. But I'm not.
Me neither.
I'm not into like a country buffet. Heck no. That is like
gross.
Yeah.
Too much carbs. People are sneezing on stuff. No thanks. I'm good.
Horrendous.
Kids run up, put their hands in the beans, and run away. You don't want that.
Right.
He's taking the lump sum of $600,000 rather than receiving the prize as an annuity of $50,000 over 20 years. After state and federal tax withholdings, his take home will be $429,000 and 7 cents.
I think that's the right way to go. I think you do that these days. I think it really depends on your age. If you're under 35, I think you do the annuity, and I think if you're over that age, you just take the lump sum.
I agree. Yeah, if you've been a carpenter for 56 years and you're going to go to Golden Corral and eat like a maniac, take the cash. Just take it.
Your time, your hourglass is sands are falling through the hourglass for you, man.
Just take the money. Anyway, this is the highest amount available to win in the Extreme Cash game, according to North Carolina Education Lottery. The odds of winning are 1 in 2,017,650. Guy did all right.
Did all right. Good job.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Bobby will be here with some science. Before we do that, we must play music.
Oh, you guys are lucky to be here today to listen to this one. This is Saliva. Hard rock veterans, man. These guys are amazing, and you already know Saliva, probably, the band. They got a brand new single that they just released called Time Bomb, features Peyton Parrish. This is the first single off their brand album, which comes out in early 2025, called Revelation Retold. Here is Saliva and Time Bomb.
Hi, I'm Rainbow. I'm a clown. I came today to share a story from a while ago.
Midget and broom and whatnot.
And we've returned. Tell me about Saliva again.
Sure. That's Saliva featuring Peyton Parrish, and a brand new single coming out from their upcoming album called Revelation Retold. Comes out early 2025, but you're hearing this one now. The song is called Time Bomb. That was Saliva.
How many bands have the name of a bodily fluid, do you think? If you had to think of them all.
Well, I mean, do you count like Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you count Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yeah.
Do you count
They get all three.
They do. They're like the Bodily Fluid Lottery.
I mean, nobody's
10
called
10cc if you believe the urban legend about their name.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And Pearl Jam, for that matter.
Oh yeah, right. And Limp Bizkit.
Well, it's not so much about the fluids, is it? It's more.
That's true. It is about what the fluids do to a biscuit.
Yeah,
really, is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Is that true? I didn't know that was the thing there.
Yeah. That was a game where you pass around a cookie and.
Oh, what? All right.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not going to describe that thing any further because it is foul.
Rolling, baby. All right. Well,
all for the nookie. Yeah.
Let's get Bobby in here and let's get some science going on.
Science!
Real science, not the crap we usually throw around on this show.
No.
Like actual scientific knowledge. And we do it with a little thing like this.
Science!
Bob is hungry. And the soup looks good.
It sure does. And Bob is here right now, looking hungry and ready to share some science with us. He's got his hair up. That means trouble. Oh, boy.
You know, we're going to get a talking to when Bobby has his hair up.
Yeah.
It's serious business, like business sucks.
Yeah. What's going on with that, Bobby? What's going on?
I just haven't washed my hair recently, so it's up.
Nice. Would you ever do dreads? Has that ever been on the bingo card?
No. Oh God, no.
No, not interested.
No.
I mean, those things stink.
You know
I've been.
You know what holds those dreads together? You know what they use?
I mean, it's horrible. It's like a limp biscuit of your own making, really. But no, I knew a guy with dreads in high school, and it looked cool from about 30 feet. And then when you got within about 10 feet range of that guy, you thought a corpse floated up from the river. It was so bad, the smell of his hair.
My sister did it for a while. I am not. My disgust should not be interpreted as disgust for people with dreads. Mm-hmm. My disgust is imagining. Like, I can't stand what my head feels like when it's been a week since I washed my hair. So I can't imagine.
Oh,
but that's what you do when you have a long hair. You don't wash it every day, or else you're gonna have a frizz nightmare, right? It's gonna be all dry and crusty.
It's a little complicated, and it depends on the texture of your hair, how thick your hair is, whether it's curly or not. My hair is really thick and
rich,
and it tends to be curly, and so you don't, especially curly hair, you don't wash it as often.
Yeah, well, that's good advice.
Adam Duritz is calling, and he's really whiny about being disappointed in what we're saying about dreads.
You guys not cool.
Is that the Counting Crows guy?
Yeah, that's that Counting Crows. Yeah.
Just for those at home who
I'm
weren't
going to
sure.
tell Mr. Jones on you.
That's right.
I should have just let you show, not tell. Sorry, sing, not tell.
Sing, not tell. Well, Bobby, it's time for us to absolve ourselves from our ignorance, to bathe in the light that is your knowledge when it comes to scientific topics.
Teach us, ponytailed one.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you have to say today. What are we doing?
Well, I have two things that I was going to share, and both about AI. And so you get to pick. Good. I've got good news and
Scott's
bad
favorite
news.
two letters. So
There's a lot of AI I like.
News. You want?
Give me the good news. There's a lot of stuff in AI that I'm all for.
Yeah.
There's a few things I'm not. But let's hear what you got for the bad. The good
well,
news.
The good
first.
news.
Yeah.
The good news is good news for you. Maybe not as good news for me, because according to a recent paper, AI summaries of scientific papers make it easier for people to understand than human written summaries.
Oh shit!
Thereby calling into question science communicators, whether or not we are going to soon be replaced by AI as well.
So the idea. So let me to summarize what that sounds like to me is that these LLMs are doing a better job at taking a let's say a topic. I don't know the way the sun, how long it takes for sun's rays to reach us or whatever. They're doing a better job of explaining that to me, either layperson or somebody in college or whatever studying such things, than you can as an expert in the field. That's what you're saying.
Sure. Yes, but specifically, they were looking at scientific papers, not just generally scientific topics. So what they did was they used GPT-4 to take the significant statements of scientific papers and make summaries of them. Significant statements are just sections of a scientific paper that not only describe what happened, but also why it might be important.
Yeah.
So it's a section in a lot of scientific papers. And so what they did was they got AI summaries to be made. And the design of the experiment was participants were asked to read these significant statements, and then were asked questions about the science, ask how well they understood it, and then they were also asked how much they trusted the information that they were reading, as another extra measure. And some things that they found that the AI summaries were doing were the AI. So some of these summaries were written by people, and some of these summaries were written by AI. That's important to know. And the AIs were asked to do it in, simple language that would be easy for the public to understand, right? Mm-hmm. And so also these science communicators were trying to do the same thing. They found that the AI summaries use simpler language. The AI summaries were easier to read. You can use objective measures to determine how easy something is to read. I'm not super familiar with how those measures work, but there are objective measures.
Yeah, it's interesting because you get like one of the things I use for SEO is a tool that reads your post, your blog post, and says this is 5th grade level or 10th grade, like, and tells you whether or not. So it's able to kind of determine size of the words you're using, complexity of your what you're communicating, and kind of determine that.
Exactly. So there are the point being, and that's a great example, Brian. There are objective measures, ways to measure whether or not how easy something is to read. So the AI summaries were easier to read, and also the AI summaries used more common words than the science communicators that were writing these things. Things like one of the examples that they gave in terms of common words would be, instead of using they would use the word job instead of occupation, for example. And so what they found was, after they did this experiment and had people do all these things, and by the way, maybe this goes without saying, but it shouldn't necessarily be not said, that when the people were reading it, sometimes they were reading the stuff by the AI and sometimes they were reading stuff by humans, and the participants didn't know who wrote what. They were just asked to answer these questions about it. And they found that participants rated scientists as more trustworthy and credible after reading AI summaries of the papers.
Oh my.
And they also found that they understood the science better and could answer questions about the science better after the AI summaries of the papers.
Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but doesn't the truncation of all things in life, that seems like we're making, I must have it fast and short and in a form I can read quickly and understand. You know what I mean?
If you haven't upgraded to the newest update to Sequoia on your computer, once you do, you'll actually start noticing you're getting those for your emails and stuff. So instead of it having the first couple lines of the email, it'll actually summarize what's in that email in the little thing. I guess you use Gmail. You don't use Apple's mail program.
I've been using it since they made the change. And you're right, they do a lot of truncation on notifications and all this other stuff too. But it's still, I still have this question. Like, that's convenient from a workflow standpoint.
That's a good use of this technology.
Yeah, I think it is. And I'm not saying the other isn't. I'm saying, like, why is it? It's an esoteric question. But if humanity wants to shorten everything and make it all easier, I don't know if that's good. It always.
Do we want Cliff Notes for everything?
Yeah, for everything. Do I want my like? It's little things like Netflix runs at 2.5 speed for those who are too busy to pay attention, or you know what I mean?
I don't think this is about what people want. I think it's about what it is, you know, like it's agnostic to what these people wanted. It's just they were presented with the information and nobody was asked, did you like reading it better? They were just asked, did you understand it better?
Yeah, it's basically AI TLDR.
Right. And it's just, the fact is that when the AIs wrote it, their summaries were easier for lay people to understand than science communicators. And people are saying it in the chat, and this was going to be my why is this important sort of like cap on it. So people are already picking up on this. I think this is actually a good thing. I said it's bad news for me, but I was being a little facetious. I think what this tells us, this is like feedback, right? This is saying, look, this is a good example of what we as science communicators need to know. What is it that these AI are doing? How are they doing it differently? Use this information, use this to inform how you communicate things. One of the concrete examples I can give is when me and my co-host Maura on our show were thinking about how to explain something. A lot of times we go back and forth between, well, okay, we can use really, really simple language, but sometimes that language is imprecise. And how important is precision in the way we communicate this versus how important is it that people just don't get lost and don't
Right.
turn their brains off, right? Like, we have to keep people interested, and we have to, and being interested is important to understanding as well, because if you're not interested, you're just it's not gonna penetrate, right?
And the people who are vested and who are very interested will read the original document that's being paraphrased. They won't just settle
Right.
for the, or it might even be the gateway to saying, oh, that sounds really cool. Let me find out more about that. Let me read the original document that got paraphrased.
Yeah, that's funny
exactly
because
right.
that's a lot like your email example. Like, I want to see these summaries so that I know what I'm in for later when I go and do the whole thing, right? Like,
Just delete it or read the rest of it.
Yeah,
That's exactly right, Brian. I think that's a really good point, that sometimes you need to think about, sometimes it's hard to remember that there's another person. There are people that might be different from you, or even the same as you, on the other side of this, right? It's easy for me to think that because I'm the one making the podcast, that I'm the one who goes out and reads these things and says, I want to know more and I want to communicate it to the other people.
Right, sure.
And I'm the only one who does this, right? So I need to disseminate this information based on, like, everything that I learned by digging deeper. I need to, but no, maybe you just need to pass on the information, and the people who didn't know anything about this will be now informed, and in some way, and that benefits them. And then the people, like you said, Brian, who are very curious about this will seek out more information.
We'll go find more. Yeah.
So I think it's a really interesting, very simple experiment, but a really interesting one that sort of sheds some light on how do you, not just science though, like how do you communicate any information to people who you feel need to be informed about something,
Right. Have you done much of this in terms of, like, I don't know, like, gone in there, used an LLM to, like, shrink down concepts or any of that sort of stuff? Like have you had personal experience with that end of it?
Yeah. So sometimes I will get inspiration from like ChatGPT if I'm having trouble explaining something in a certain way, or this happens a lot when I'm, like, talking about physics or like astronomy or something like that. I want to explain something, and I'm very aware of the fact that there are certain topics that I have a pet interest in, and so I take for granted certain things that I know. And so when you do that, sometimes you skip over some basic things and you can lose people. So sometimes I'll check myself and say, okay, go into ChatGPT and say, hey, at about a middle school level or 8th or 9th grade level, explain, how black holes work. And I'll look at that and I'll say, oh, that's a really interesting way that they chose to frame that. Or, oh, I didn't really think about that. Or they didn't even mention this at all, and I think it still works. Maybe I can take that out. It's sort of like comparing. It gives another sort of way to do it. I will also occasionally, if I'm short on time, I will read an article. There's a couple of steps I go through whenever I'm preparing a science news bit or even a feature that I do. I do a couple of read-throughs of something. So I'll read it first, just read it all the way through and don't do anything. That gives me, like, an overall broad sense of what the article is, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll go back through and take some notes about the main points. Then I'll go back through a third time and fill in some details, right? Well, sometimes if I'm short on time, I will that second step, I will go and I'll read it through one time, then I'll feed it into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me some bullet points of the main points of this. And then I'll go back. I'll only have to go back a second time to A, confirm that everything's correct, because it gets things wrong sometimes.
Right.
And B, fill in the details from there. It can help make your process a little bit more efficient that way. That's how I've used it before.
Interesting. Well, it's a curious thing, just because we're going down the road regardless, so it makes sense to keep up on it, figure out what's working, what isn't. Now, that was the good news.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot we started this thing. Can you paraphrase the bad news into, like, a couple sentences?
Yeah, can you give us a shortened version of the bad news? That's how we like our bad news, nice and truncated.
Yeah. So basically, new research has been done on AI. This is going to sound like old research, but I'll explain why it's new. New research shows that AI used for reviewing resumes shows bias in race and sex.
Oh God. Oh no. I already know that they do this thing where they look for like certain keywords. Like you really have to game the system now when you're submitting your resume to a company because you may not even, your resume may not even get looked at by a real person these days.
Yeah.
It'll get filtered out by one of these bots before it even gets to it. And so now to even know that, oh great, there's even there's some stuff that you may not want to put your sex or your
Well, it's not even that. It's worse than that in a way. And so we've what I'm about to describe is, like I said, people are going to be like, I thought we already knew that. But what we knew already was that human beings were doing this, which is, it's been known for a while that there's a bias in resume reviews against black and or female sounding names. And so when those pop up, they tend to not get hired as often. And we've known that for some time now when it comes to people in HR departments reviewing resumes. They might not even make it through the first round of just selecting resumes, right? So what they did now is they ran a bunch of resumes. They found just a ton online in different like job searching sites, and they ran a bunch of them through a commonly used AI resume evaluation service. And they ran a whole bunch of resumes through with the names, and then a whole bunch through with the names taken out. And then they asked it to rank the resumes against different job descriptions, because the evaluation thing will rank them and say these people it'll give them a number 0 through 100 and say how well suited to a certain job description they are, right? And they found that white sounding names were preferred 85.1% of the time.
Jeez.
And black names were preferred 8.6% of the time only. So that's real bad.
You know what? Really you know what that tells me? This is what it tells me. I know you have some more numbers. Let me just tell you this real quick before I forget. This tells me that because these LLMs and really all current models in AI are trained on data, imagery, film, whatever that we make, that we've done, including LLMs that are just basically dealing in the text world, right? They're just training on tons of data that we create. It should not be surprising to us that our biases carry over, even our unknown biases, our subconscious biases carry over into the freaking AI, because they train the shit on us. That's not like the AI is going, oh, humans and their proclivity toward whites. Well, we'll fix that right now. They don't think that way.
No, exactly. So, and we think that we as human beings think that the decisions that we have made already are rational ones, right? Especially if the decisions that we make turn out like good, you know? So it's likely a lot of these programs, these AI resume evaluation programs, are based on resumes that have been reviewed and which ones made it into jobs and which ones didn't, and then which ones were successful in their jobs and which ones weren't. And so all of that data is fed into to help train these programs. But like you said, Scott, those were all decisions that were made by already biased human beings, right?
Right. So. Yeah, it's interesting, though, right? Like to learn this stuff now. The other beef I have with AI is that people will take these, whether they're being genuine or not, they're going to take some of this stuff and they're going to aim it toward whatever their ends are. So you see this already happen with, everybody was worried that AI photography, like fake photos, were going to be the big challenge or the big, thing to watch out for. And there's truth in that. But for me, that never bothered me. I'm very least of my worries, because there are going to be ways to detect it. If smart people are around, we're going to figure out what's fake and what isn't fake. My bigger worry is when people would take real stuff and give false positives and say, well, that's AI.
Right.
Because it serves whatever narrative they have. So if it's like somebody getting beat up by cops, oh, that was AI created or whatever. Like, that's my bigger worry. And the same thing exists here with LLMs and the more boring on paper text stuff. It's like, well, no, this just proves that even the robots think that the whites are superior. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they think it, this just proves what I've been saying for years. Those are the things I worry about. Like the screw ups and the errors, and it's fine. Those things, work out. There was an example this other day. Somebody was doing early voting, and they were all fired up because their candidate wasn't listed first, and you had to go way down the list to find them. And the reason for that is it's alphabetical. Always has been. It's never not been. It may vary state by state how they list them, but that state, it's always been. But it didn't stop them from going online and having a complete meltdown, and then thousands of other people going, I can't believe this. Stop the voting. All this sort of thing. We have such a weird tendency to do this that I worry about these. Whenever there's an error in AI, everybody's going to grab it from a different angle and pull it their direction. I'm not even worried about the AI. I'm worried about the dipshits around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, rant over. Rant complete.
It's an important point. We as humans, we have there's actually a new cognitive bias that was described. You don't say discovered, it's because it already existed, right? It was described. That I can't remember what they named it, but the idea was that that we assume that we have all the information when we don't have enough. Like when we're given information about a topic and we make a decision, we tend to assume that we have all or at least enough information to make a decision. It's not something we actively think about. It's just that's what the assumption that we make, and that's a big part of critical thinking as a discipline. Is to always ask, do I have all the information, and what else is out there that I am not aware of that could help me shed light on what this topic is and to make a decision about it. And that's just a really important knee-jerk reaction to have about everything. That's not cynicism. That's not it's just do I have all the information before I make a decision? Let me make sure I have all the information.
Yeah, and know that. I think that's just critical thinking, and I think that's good.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
So the other couple numbers about this job evaluation or this resume evaluation stuff that they tested. So I said that black names were preferred 8.6% of the time, white names 85.1% of the time. That's huge. Male names were preferred 51.9% of the time, and female names were preferred 11.1% of the time.
Jeez.
And so and it's even worse when you cross those things together. They found that black male names were preferred 0% of the time.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm not saying that we suck, but I'm just going to say I think we might suck. I think we suck.
Yeah.
As a
tell
people.
us humanity sucks without telling us humanity sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to, man. That's really lame. Is it because black sounding names is also a big bag of chips? Like, what does that even mean?
It kind of really is, yeah.
Like Tyrone.
There is I think an objective. They try to use objective measures for this, but I think there is an objective measure based on a list that exists for more academic purposes. And so I'm not sure how that list is made or how they came up with their list, but that's how they described them anyway.
Interesting.
And this is just it's a particular model that they use. Surely there are multiple models for AI that would evaluate these sorts of things. This isn't necessarily every one that exists, but it was a common one. I can't remember the name of what it was, and it's based on the Mistral 7B LLM that is trained to do this resume evaluation. So apparently it's a commonly used one. And they also found that these numbers were consistent across all job descriptions. That it wasn't just like they were just looking at
jobs. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
something
that needs to be fixed.
Something needs to be fixed,
to say the least.
Addressed and actioned against.
Yeah.
Because,
I guess, if nothing else, it's a bad news story that potentially could just expose here's something that we need to work on. If the LLMs are pulling this information, that means we still have a problem and we need to do something about it.
Exactly. If you want to think of that, the silver lining about this, it's that now we know, or at least now we have. It's not that we didn't know before. Many people have been talking about this for a while. For for a long while. But now it's every time you have a study like this that comes out and looks at it concretely, you have more hard factual evidence to say, look, nope, it's exactly what we've been saying, exactly what we've been warning against. This is what's happening.
Chat room is,
and it can be fixed.
Chat room's asking for a link. I found one to this study. It's Ars Technica's reposting of it, but it's essentially the same stuff. So you can find links to the actual study and all of that. Yeah. Go look that up and check on it. People are in the chat was like, "Is this a study? Where is it?" That's where it is. So
yeah.
Bobby, this kind of stuff is what oozes from you weekly on All Around Science, and people are encouraged to take little cups and scoop up the ooze and keep it for themselves. You know,
our ooze does not make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though.
No,
that is not the secret of your ooze.
No.
But you are like a wise rat man. Right?
Yeah.
That is you.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's where the people should check that out. They also, look, if you want really great World of Warcraft commentary, I got a great monthly show for you guys. You may have heard of it. It's called The Instance. We call it The Instance 2.0 because it really is a rebirth of the product. And we're a few episodes in and just did an amazing episode, I thought, the other day. So if you want to tune in, get our takes on $90 mounts and changes in the game and hardcore stuff around Mythic Plus rating and all that, boy, howdy, do we have good news for you. So check it out, frogpants.com/instance. Both great podcasts, and you can get them wherever you get them. Bobby, is there anything else you'd like to mention?
No, just go check out All Around Science. That's all I've got.
That's all you've got. Well,
That's
it's got more than that in our hearts, Bobby. Have a great one. We'll see you next time. All right. Excellent is right. Brian, we are at the tail end of things here, and a couple of quick things to go through before we get out of here.
Cool.
One, a message from Ryan in Boston who says, it's about keeping your pumpkins longer. And if Randy, you're still listening, this is for you.
There's some birthday advice for you.
Yep. It says, hey, TMS, Randy's jack-o'-lantern will last far longer if submerged in the bathtub of part bleach and water overnight. Enjoy, says Ryan.
That's interesting. So here's the question I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. You would once you've carved it, you put it in there in the bleach and water because it won't do anything to the outside before you carve it, or it won't help the inside before it gets carved because it can't get in there. But that's interesting.
I assume what it does is, I don't know this, but it seems like it would sort of, the idea would be preserving the inside a little longer.
Yeah,
I don't know how bleach does that though.
Like
it's weird.
Kind of cauterizing bleach, kind of closing the porous outsides of those cut areas to make it so that.
Or maybe the bleach. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It probably just stops bacteria, right? Like halts it.
Kills it on contact, Scott.
But you can't do full bleach, or else you'd bleach your pumpkin. So you got to
be a white pumpkin. Charlie Brown,
which is kind of cool. I'm just saying. Anyway, thanks, Ryan. 801-471-0462 is where he sent that text. And a couple other notes here. The Monday show will be later today. We have a returning guest today, and it's going to get weird. That's all I'm going to tease you with. You're going to want to be there live.
Really?
Yep. 4 p.m. Mountain Time, returning guests, gonna get weird. That's a trifecta of interest right there.
What's funny is all the episodes I've listened to the Monday show, I don't think I've ever heard the guest, any guests. So
yeah, there's one in particular.
It'll be brand new weird.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, check that out today, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, and it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I'm on Jury's show today at 11:30, and I don't know if that's live. I'm not sure how he does it now with that particular podcast. I think it might be live. I don't know. But 11:30 here in about an hour, I will be on with Jury, and the whole reason I'm there, you'd think, oh, it's because of the election. And no, we're going to talk about everything but politics today.
Nice.
All of it, but
how
politics.
will you guys resist? That's the question. I mean, I'll be impressed if you do it, and I love the fact that the plan is to not do it. But man, I don't know how it doesn't accidentally seep into things.
I know. You're not wrong to be
wary or concerned.
Wary, all of those words, like for real. Like I get it. But when he asked me on, this was the entire point. He said, "Hey, I want to have you on, but our goal is to not talk about it." So, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. Also, a couple new prints available on the Frog Pants store. Just wanted people to be aware of them. I drew a real weird one called Candle Beast. It's just this buff dude with a candle on his head.
Oh, sure is. Yeah.
And
take candle.
Yeah, if you like a buff guy with a candle on his head, I'm telling you, this is your chance. These are also free shipping, and A print version of the Blue Prophecy is now available as well in 11x17 for those who did not get the play map but still look forward to it, and a few others. So go check it out. Available now. In particular, I'm just proud of this candle guy. I don't expect these to sell a ton because it's weird, and who's hanging that on their wall? But, some of you might. I'm just saying. Some of you fitness buff guys who like a good candle. I don't know.
Sure.
I'll
buy one and hang it up at the Orange Theory.
Yeah,
because the wax is orange, so they'll love that. There, they'll say, "Oh, thank you for providing this, Brian."
Yeah. So go grab them while they're hot. They're cheap. They're free shipping and all that stuff. Frogpants.shop or frogpants.com. Either one will get you there.
Cool.
All right, that's it for today's show. Let's get out of here. You got a little song we can play here at the end?
I have a little tease too. Working on been putting together the video that I made of the assembly process for the OpenCade. So I want to get that on YouTube as well. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not already subscribed to me on YouTube, it's Coverville, obviously, and you'll get notified when I post that one.
I'm very excited about this.
My workbench finally clear from all that stuff.
Yeah, and this will be. You've been filming the entire start to finish, right? Or bits and pieces?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, the entire start to finish. So the only thing, obviously, the code stuff, the programming of the games and loading of games I don't have on there because there's some other better places to watch that process. So, but you'll see the whole assembly and my fat little fingers trying to hold down a Raspberry Pi while I screw in little tiny M2 screws and all that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get to the song. Let's close out with a tune in our hearts. Zach Pointer says, Konnichiwa, Sushi and Bento. I know you won't be able to do my song on my birthday, which is the 9th, this coming Saturday, but sometime close would be dope. I decided to Google what song was the chart topper on my birthday 45 years ago.
Holy shit. I'm sorry. Yeah. This just requires a little of this. Whoops, that's not it.
Happy birthday.
There you go.
Nice. By the way, do need some requests. So if you've got a birthday coming up, an anniversary, something you want to celebrate, then make sure you go to frogpants.com/TMS and follow the link there to make a request and get your request in. November is a little bit light in the first, well, actually in both halves, first and second half. So get some requests in, people.
Nice.
All right. I decided to Google what song was the chart topper on his birthday 45 years ago, and it was My Sharona by the Knack. If you could find a cool cover of the song, it would be nice of you. You all made my day last year with my request. Let's see. Guess Scott will give me an old lady happy birthday. Sure did. But additional to that, is it possible to get a funny Sesame Street or Muppets clip?
Oh.
Keep up the great podcast. Feels like I have friends riding with me in the car with me when I'm walking my dogs or with me doing dishes.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Muppets. Yeah. Here we go. Let's try this one.
Man, that was weird.
No, that's a Muppet talking. How about this one?
Look out, Muppets.
Look out, Muppets. That's the best I got. I got nothing else.
Okay, look out, Muppets.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah,
perfect.
I like it.
All right, so I have a lot of versions of My Sharona that are very much like the original with the no, right? But I've got one version that kind of sticks out as being a very different version. This is by an Oompa Oompa band group called the Heimat Damish from a 2021 album called Let There Be Brass. Here's their cover of the Knack's My Sharona.
Oh, looks like someone just got their ears caught in the audio cookie jar. It's okay. You can have another and another after that at frogpants.com.
It came from somewhere, lady.
Somewhere, lady.
Nope.